At 40, the problem isn't that you arrived late, it's that you're using an old map on new terrain. Pressing harder on the wrong map only gets you to the cul-de-sac faster. Burnout, a growing waistline, fractured sleep, a career that feels overfull yet underfulfilling. The move now isn't more speed, it's a better heading, away from I must be faster than others toward I must be aligned with myself. The old map measured success by title, salary, and a packed calendar. The new map measures by energy, durable health, and valuable skills. These markers are honest because they can be measured, repeated, and scaled. You can quantify your morning battery, you can repeat a good night's sleep and a steady meal, and you can scale a skill that reliably reduces someone else's pain. This essay redraws success at 40. We'll turn the fear of being late into new footholds, a resilient health base, a daily energy cash flow, and a skill stack the market gladly pays for. You're not running from your past, you're redrawing the map, choosing the right coordinates, and moving calmly, deeply. The old map worked in your 20s and early 30s when the body was factory fresh. VO2 max was higher, sleep rebounded easily, and the brain tolerated multitasking. After 15 to 20 years of sitting, screens, ultra-processed food, and eroded sleep, the terrain changed. The result is negative energy, shallow sleep, high stress, low movement, hurried meals, and a drop in life's operating capacity. Mornings start foggy, afternoons crash, evenings have nothing left for family or craft. Titles, paychecks, and crammed calendars are lagging metrics. They don't predict how much usable battery you'll have tomorrow to learn and create. At 40, energy is the currency. Without it, every plan becomes bad debt. Half-hearted ventures, abandoned courses, big promises with small follow-through. 3 faulty assumptions mislead the old map. The first is linearity. More hours will get me there. In reality, marginal benefit drops while marginal energy cost spikes. Each late hour is a high-interest loan from tomorrow. The second is immunity. My body can take it. After 35 to 40, stress tolerance narrows, blood sugar swings more, visceral fat creeps up, and deep sleep requires active protection. The third is credential confusion. Skills equal certificates. In health and wellness, the skills that get paid are the ones that reduce measurable pain. Better sleep, smaller waist, fewer back flares, not the list of diplomas on a wall. So the new map shifts from lagging to leading metrics. Track morning energy, resting heart rate, sleep depth, weekly zone 2 minutes, and basic strength. Build value-creating skills, habit coaching, progress measurement, results storytelling, and a clear 12-week program with defined checkpoints. Operate with a low-risk model, small pilots, fast feedback, timely pivots, and the affordable loss rule for time and money. Let 3 questions guide the redraw. How do you raise energy capital quickly and durably through compounding sleep, zone 2 for capacity, and strength as insurance? Which skills are paid for in proactive health? Those that reduce pain, are trackable, and can scale. What working model is flexible and low risk, starting small with 10 to 20 clients, with pivot and stop criteria written up front? If the old map led to exhaustion, the answer isn't to run faster. It's to remap. Treat energy as currency, pain-solving skills as your product, and the cycle of test, measure, learn as your roadwork. These aren't slogans. They're levers you can measure, repeat, and scale to reclaim initiative at 40. Health as your balance sheet. Treat sleep like a compound interest bond that pays your brain, hormones, and immune system. Lock consistent sleep and wake times. Power down screens about an hour before bed, and get 10 minutes of morning light. Those 3 behaviors, steady melatonin and cortisol, clear metabolic waste in the brain, and make blood sugar and appetite signals behave. Build minimum viable movement. Zone 2, where you can talk but not sing, 2 to 3 sessions per week, builds mitochondria and makes daily tasks feel cheaper. Add strength twice a week around 4 fundamental patterns: push, pull, squat, and hinge. Progress the load carefully so the body truly adapts. Plate discipline stabilizes energy. Anchor meals on quality protein, plenty of vegetables, and just enough carbs. Walk 10 minutes after meals to cash out the blood glucose spike. This isn't idealism, it's energy accounting, so you have capital to invest in work. Energy as daily cash flow. Set 3 anchors: morning light plus water plus a short walk and a protein-forward meal. Midday post-meal walk followed by a 45 to 60-minute notification-free focus block. Late afternoon neat breaks every hour, clear the day's priorities, and no late caffeine loans against the night. Plug the leaks. Late night scrolling thins deep sleep, relaxing alcohol shreds REM, and constant task switching taxes the brain's transaction fees. Institute a device curfew. Keep caffeine to morning or early midday, and add a 10-minute evening walk. A stable energy cash flow creates the depth of focus you need to learn and ship. Skills as income-producing assets. At 40, a stack of certificates is worth less than a stack of repeatable outcomes. Build 4 layers. First, habit coaching across sleep, food, movement, and stress, using tiny steps tied to daily anchors. Second, clear communication. Always frame problem, intervention, outcome with numbers. Third, measurement. Pick 3 to 5 leading indicators such as morning energy, waistline, resting heart rate, weekly zone 2, weekly strength sessions. Fourth, a 12-week offer in 3 phases: base, build, consolidate, with measurements at weeks 0, 4, 8, and 12, and explicit commitments. Operate by 70-20-10, 70% doing with real clients, 20% guided learning, 10% deep study. A sample week might include 5 hours of coaching and implementation, 90 minutes of structured learning, and 45 minutes of research and notes. The core belief is simple. Valuable skills reduce pain, are measurable, and are scalable. Mini case and a 30 to 60 90-day plan. Min is 41, 12 years into office work, sleeping 5 to 6 hours, gaining weight, and living with a persistent backache. Morning energy sits at 4 out of 10. Afternoons crash, evenings are empty. Over 8 weeks, we rewired the basics. Sleep from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., screens off an hour before bed, morning light within minutes of waking. 2 weekly strength sessions using squat, hinge, push, and pull, with clean technique and gradual progression, keeping 1 to 2 reps in reserve. 2 zone 2 sessions of 30 to 40 minutes at a conversational pace. Meals anchored on protein and vegetables with just enough carbs, 10 minutes of post-meal walking. Neat breaks each hour, and a 7,000 to 9,000 step target. Caffeine only in the morning or early midday. The numbers changed. Morning energy rose from 4 to 7. Waistline dropped about 5 centimeters. Resting heart rate fell 4 to 6 beats per minute. Min delivered 2 deep work blocks most days, and his back calmed with hinge work and basic core isometrics. Then we packaged the experience into a 12-week pilot for 8 colleagues. Onboarding was a 30-minute 1-to-1 for baseline waist, resting heart rate, morning energy score, and a brief 5-minute strength screen. The program ran in 3 phases of 4 weeks with checkpoints at weeks 0, 4, 8, and 12, tracking on a shared sheet and a group chat. Weekly 15-minute check-ins reviewed habit completion and adjusted training and meals. Boundaries were explicit. This replaces no medical care. Targets are measurable outcomes. Proof lived in optional waist photos, step logs, and RHR charts. We set kill metrics and pivot rules to avoid sunk cost traps. If under 60% of participants complete 2/3 of habits for 2 straight weeks, we simplify and increase support. If after 6 weeks R hasn't improved by 2 beats and morning energy hasn't risen by 1 point, we reduce load by 20%, add 15% more zone 2, and move caffeine earlier. If fewer than 5% express willingness to pay after the pilot, we adjust the offer and positioning before scaling. Your 30 to 60-90 looks like this. In the first 30 days, build the base and launch a pilot with 10 to 20 people in exchange for feedback. Cap weekly time at 5 to 7 hours, about 2 for coaching, 2 for content, 1 to 3 for check-ins. Your minimum kit is a 1-page energy ledger, a weekly template for 2 strength and 2 zone 2 sessions, a disciplined plate with 3 quick protein-rich meals, a tracker, a group chat, and a fixed check-in slot. Leading KPIs: habit completion at or above 70%, daily steps up by 1 to 2,000, RHR down 2 to 3 beats. By 60 days, standardize and refine. Create exercise templates for levels A, B, and C. Write a 15-minute check-in script. Draft a boundary FAQ. Productize results with 2 or 3 concise case studies showing before-after numbers and short testimonials. Set 3 price tiers: 1-to-1, small group, online, anchored to measurable outcomes like deeper sleep, smaller waist, and lower RHR. Target retention of 80% or more, an NPS of 8 or higher, and at least 70% achieving 2 or more improvements by week 8. By 90 days, scale with discipline. Shift from discounting to value-based pricing. Keep group discounts. Add channels. A 45-minute workplace or club workshop, partnerships with gyms or clinics, and a 7-day energy reset as a lead magnet. Grow the next cohort by 50 to 100% while preserving safe coach-to-client ratios and monitoring a weekly KPI dashboard. If 2 or more red flags persist for 2 weeks, retention under 70%, NPS under 7, low willingness to pay, freeze expansion and optimize message and offer. Psychological knots and how to untie them. 4 common fears aren't character flaws. They're cognitive patterns you can name and neutralize. Fear of being late. Depth beats breadth. Pick one niche, one measurable promise, one channel. If the feeling flares today, send one pilot invitation to one real person before 5 p.m. Progress is counted in experiments, not likes. Fear of not being qualified enough. Don't confuse certificates with competence. Start with a small, measurable problem. Better sleep, lower RHR, smaller waist. Learn just enough to solve it completely, then expand. Before the next course, complete 5 pilots on the same problem and write 2 case studies. Fear of failure. Write pivot and stop rules in advance and run a 10-minute pre-mortem. Assume failure happened, list 5 likely causes, add shock absorbers now. If by week 6 RHR hasn't dropped by 2 and morning energy hasn't risen by 1, lighten strength by 20%, add 15% zone 2, move caffeine before noon. Put dates and metrics on your calendar. Fear of comparison. Track only what you control. Sessions delivered, habit completion, NPS, willingness to pay. If scrolling triggers insecurity for more than 2 minutes, close the app and send a client care message or post a permitted progress proof. A quick 90-second toolkit helps. A weekly accountability check-in with your pilot group, 3 written if-then plans taped by your desk, environment design that beats willpower, phone out of the bedroom, shoes by the door, a protein shaker within reach, and a daily work-in-progress limit. Ship 1 value-creating action before opening email. Closing. 40 isn't late. Late happens only when the old map drives the present. The new map starts with 1 full night of sleep, 1 disciplined plate, 10 post-meal minutes on foot, and 1 real person you can help this week. If you want a 1-page life work remap to draw tonight, comment MAP. I'll send you the template that links health, energy, and skills to a 12-week offer and a 30-day pilot plan. Next up, energy before money. Why capacity, not hustle, is the new advantage.